Hi, Jurassic Junkie here. The sun's this week, as you can tell. This is the Friday Night Rant.
Hello and welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So, special thank you to my good friend Just Plain Ads, aka don't call me by my real name, Gordon, who is actually one of my main guys who I always play Xbox Live with, and he's an absolute legend. So, Adam, thank you very much. So, E3 has been and gone. I hope you was all impressed. I hope you enjoyed it slightly. It was a mediocre one for me. So before we crack in, I've got a massive list of stuff that I wrote down about E3. So we'll go by the sponsor by drink, get it out of the way, because it is a Diet Cola. Yes, I'm cutting down my drinking at the moment because, as I said, over the last 2 weeks, nearly spilt some. Over the last 2 weeks, I've just been programming. I've just sat here. I've ate crap. I've drank a lot, and I've noticed that I've actually put 3 pounds on, which is absolutely awesome. And by 3 pounds, I actually mean 3 stone, which is even better. So yeah, I've got 3 stone in there at the moment I need to get rid of. So yes, diets and more exercise, but it won't stop the gaming. So let's crack on with exactly what E3 had to offer. So I'm going to go with, start with Microsoft. This may come off as a bit of fanboyism because I'm going to fight their corner a little, but at the same time I am a kind of person when Microsoft up, I'll hold up and go, they did bad. So, cracking on then. Microsoft has introduced Smart Glass, which first of all I was very, very impressed with, because I expected to not be wowed by anything at E3. I thought everything they're going to show you is everything I already know, just in a bit more detail, so I didn't expect to take anything away that made me go, wow. So obviously they've rolled out the idea of Smart Glass, which is the simple idea that any mobile device, iPad, Android, anything at all, will be a way of controlling the Xbox as well as Windows 8 when that is rolled out. And first of all, I think that's absolutely awesome because, as you know, Sony has a console and a handheld, Nintendo have the same, but Microsoft doesn't do that. And I think it's quite good that Microsoft is kind of giving a free app that will turn your phone into a semi-handheld device. I'm not saying this is going to be on par with 3DS, that's ridiculous saying so, but I like the idea how they're kind of making these small devices work with the 360 at no extra charge whatsoever, so I think that's awesome. Now, a lot of people sat there and slated it going, it's a gimmick, it's stupid. At the end of the day, it's something that's not being forced down your neck, and if you don't want it, don't download it. There's no problem whatsoever. As for me, I think it's awesome. If I can play a game and actually have some extra content down on my screen for free, I think that is very, very cool. Because the thing of the Wii U is obviously, for instance, when they're showing Batman, I love the idea of seeing all the Batman controls down on that screen. So if I can do that on my phone, I think that's pretty damn cool. So the next thing they kind of pushed was the Kinect, which is obvious, we knew that was coming. But as I said, Microsoft doesn't actually have a handheld. So you have to remember that Kinect is like the other side of the Xbox. When you come to an expo for Nintendo, they will split it to handheld console. And I feel that's how Microsoft treats it. They'll go with console and Kinect. So they kind of half it, and half it's dedicated to Kinect. Now that's a shame because a lot of people don't own a Kinect. A lot of people don't care for Kinect. So to dedicate 50% of your expo on something that many people aren't bothered about is kind of annoying. So that kind of justifies why they do it. But at the same time, I would have liked to have seen a lot more games. And that's what Microsoft didn't do this year. Now, they've shown 3 new titles that are coming out exclusive to actually the Xbox, and these look like they've been made by themselves, and they look crap. They were just like mini trailers of one like a camera going through a cube world, but kind of had a Portal feel to it, and it feels like it might be Microsoft's Kinect version of Portal. To be fair, I'm not bothered about that, so it just looks like it's clutching its jaws just to say, look, you've got some new content coming. Obviously, they're showing things like Forza, which actually looks awesome, so there is some games coming, but there's not much exclusive content coming from the Microsoft, and that's what they really let down on this year. They needed to look more and more at games. Now, as for me, I'm not particularly bothered because I welcome the idea of a dry spell of games, simply because I've got far too much to play, and you know how it is, you'll have your list of games there, I need to play them, but at the same time they're giving you more and more games and you're having to buy them and you never get anything completed. So I welcome a dry spell from Microsoft, and it's awesome, but that doesn't justify it. That's just me. Obviously a lot of gamers are sat there waiting for them new games, and it's unfair that they haven't got loads of new content coming. So Microsoft, I think they did a good expo. I thought the actual idea of this touch glass, Smart Glass even, I thought the idea of this Smart Glass was absolutely awesome, but I think they needed to dedicate a lot more time and money on games. So, the next... Oh, and before we go any further, because, as I said, I can hold my hand up if Microsoft do something wrong. What the f*** was Usher doing on there? You do not bring Usher out on your conference. It's just... last year they had the kids with the fist bump and, you know what I mean, that was bad. And I was like, you can't get any worse, and they bring fucking Usher out. So yeah, that's Microsoft in a nutshell. So Sony... I never actually got to watch the Sony one because every year they always do theirs about 4 o'clock in the morning and I never get to see it. So in the morning I end up watching bits of it, of different trailers of what they've actually released. And obviously they've gone down the game route and they've done it bloody well and they've got some great games coming. Now first of all, we've got some more details of Last of Us. We get to see a nice load of footage of it. Now Last of Us is kind of done that with me. First of all, it's made me go wow because it appears to be quite graphic. It's going to be in your face. It's going to make you look at your decisions and go, you know what I mean, I don't want to kill these people, but if I was in this situation I probably would just kill them because I don't want to take the chance. So it's got that really cool where you've got to think about the moral fibre of it, going should I, shouldn't I, and that's awesome. The downside to it, I think, is it feels like you're going down the Uncharted path route where I thought it might be going to be a bit open, I can do what I want, but it was how he was walking, then he walked on top of a bus and there was a window ready and it took him down the corridor. It feels like it could be a very linear game and that is not what I wanted from it. But I'm not going to actually say it's bad or good at the moment. I'll wait for more stuff to come out, but that was one good thing straight away for Sony. Then they've got Beyond Two Souls, which is the guys that actually made Heavy Rain, and Jesus Christ, that absolutely look awesome. Couldn't even speak then. But yeah, it looks amazing. It's got M Page in there, and just everything I saw of it went, it's dark, it's awesome, the graphics look brilliant, and the thing is, it made it look next gen. Now that's the point of E3. Fair enough, they've not got a new next gen console yet, but the point of E3 is to go, look where we are now, look how advanced we are, and they actually produce more better looking games that made it feel next gen than Nintendo did, but we'll go on to that in a minute. And the other thing, I don't know if this was on Sony's Expo or if this was on a Ubisoft one, but either way, I'll just chuck it in there, and it's Watch Dogs. Now, this game is the game that I want out of all of E3 so far. Now, it just feels like you've got Grand Theft Auto, had sex with the Crysis engine, and then also at the same time spat out a tiny little Deus Ex baby. It just feels technology, graphics, open sandbox, awesomeness all thrown into one. So if you've not seen Watch Dogs trailer, go check it out because I'm so excited for that game, I need it now. So, Sony's Expo went off quite well. You've got the games, you've got the content, you've got people going, wicked, I can buy all these stuff. But they forgot something. They've just released a f***ing Vita. So everyone sat there going, right, give us the Vita games. And they didn't do that. Then later on, the guy who did the Expo was questioned by Spike TV and he says, where was the Vita games? And the stupid had turned round and actually says, we only have a limited amount of time on the E3 show, so we have to cut a lot of the fat, so I'm afraid we couldn't show most of it. Fucking shit. Do you think we're going to accept that? We think that you go, oh, I didn't have enough time to tell you. The reason you didn't tell us is because you haven't got any games. And fair enough, you may have some up your sleeve, but if you had them ready and trailer form, you would have given it us. And there's no two ways about that. The reason you didn't give it us is because you had nothing to show just yet. And the thing is, why would you say you didn't have enough time? You've got an Expo, you chop it in half, you put half to the PlayStation 3, you put the half to the Vita. That's how you dedicate your time. And if he claims there wasn't enough time and you want to believe that, why didn't he go down the Nintendo route, who simply says, we've got a lot to show. Obviously, you've come for the 3DS as well, so go to e3.nintendo.com and you can see more 3DS content. So Nintendo was clever enough to say, we can't squeeze our content in, so go over there and you can watch it later. Whereas Sony just went, yeah, we couldn't squeeze it in, sorry. It was like, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. So a lot of people have now said that they're upset. There's no games for the Vita, but obviously it feels like last year again with the 3DS, people going, there's not many games, not many games. People are going to contact me saying, yeah, there is loads of games. I don't care because I'm not here to argue. But the point is, that was E3 and the Vita's been launched and they didn't speak much of it, which is just terrible, terrible tactics for Sony. So Sony did good and bad, but I would have said Sony's Expo was still better than Microsoft's this year. So, right, let's have a taste of the Diet Cola. I love those three calories. So Nintendo then, the one that I wanted, the one I was waiting for. Now, obviously, prior to the E3 launch, they actually gave us the Wii U early access video. I don't know what you want to call it. Now, watching it was quite cool because they actually did take the time to explain it a bit more and told us more about the Miiverse. Now, the Miiverse looks good. It looks like Nintendo have gone, we're going to make a really good online experience, it's going to be rich with content, and we're going to try and do it different, because to me, my Xbox Live is the perfect system. It's easy to jump into somebody's game, I can talk to anybody cross games, it all works awesome for me. So I wanted Nintendo to practically take Xbox Live but chuck a Nintendo twist on it, because I don't want a copycat, I want them to be fresh with their ideas, and they've done that. The Miiverse looks awesome. I like the idea of it, if you're playing a game and you're stuck, you can instantly ask a question and it goes out like a tweet. I think everything about it is really, really good. So from watching that video, first I was like, you know what, this is looking good. So obviously the E3 Expo came along and they started off with Pikmin 3. Now, I've never really played Pikmin. I know Pikmin's got a massive following, and they're showing off Pikmin. Now, don't get me wrong, this Pikmin looked a lot better than what you found on the GameCube. And they were saying, look, we can have higher res now, so we can be able to look in more, look deeper down on the Pikmin. Now, that's the only thing it felt like the Wii U was doing, just give it a bit of a higher res. The graphics looked good. They didn't look next gen. And if Pikmin is going to be like one of these games that they're going to be launched at the very start, and at the same time you've got the next gen console, this is next gen stuff, so you should be pushing it so it's so next gen, we're just like, I can't believe the graphics. And I know games aren't about graphics, but if you're releasing a next gen console and you want to get in some core gamers, a part of that push is claiming your graphics are good. So why don't you start with a really good graphical game? Now, Pikmin just fell a bit limp for me. Now, I'll end up playing it if we get the Wii U, and there's nothing bad about it, but I was just like, okay, that's not so bad, push that one aside, now give me something with graphics. Then they went on to show you Zombie U. Now, Zombie U did look cool. I like the way you lose the controller. All of that looked awesome. And the graphics on that looked better. So I was like, yes, here we go. But it still feels like those kind of graphics is what we have actually seen on the current consoles at the moment. So I was like, yeah, we're getting warmer. Come on, give me more Nintendo. And then it stopped. Nothing came out with graphics that made me go, wow. Now, I'll kind of draw this home. I know it's not about graphics and about playability and all that lot, but to be fair, it just feels like they didn't show what this console could do. Now, when it comes down to the actual controller, I think it's awesome, because obviously they revealed that they're going to be having Batman for it, and they're going to be using that for the Batman controls. Now, the control system on it I think is awesome. I think when you go into detective mode and you do all that, really clever, fun stuff. And with that, I'm like, Nintendo, that's what you do best, and you've done that well. But it felt like the best thing they actually shown for using your controller was for Batman. Now, this is where I've got the problem with Nintendo. Nintendo have always been about fun, quirky, crazy games. I'm not going to say just aimed at the family, but you know Nintendo's market isn't the core market. And Nintendo now claim that they're actually going for core gamers. They're going for everybody. So I'll welcome that. I'll say, you go for it, Nintendo. You do what you can. But what they showed me was a bunch of games that are going to keep the Nintendo people happy. At the same time, it says, right, we're going to launch Batman. Now, core gamers have already played Batman on the other two consoles. They've also said they're bringing out Mass Effect. Now, again, as core gamers, I've already played Mass Effect. Now, I know they're going to tweak the game, they're going to add additional content in there, and we get to use a controller. So, I would, if it was actually on launch day, and there was somebody going, what would you like to play Batman on, these two consoles or on the Wii U controller, I'd probably say Wii U controller looks more fun. But that's not happened. You rehashing old games, dusting them off. Fair enough, there's not much dust on them because they're not very old games. But the point is, anyone who's a core gamer and wants to play that game's done it. So why will they go back out and buy it again? Now, the thing I'm kind of a bit worried about is the snowball effect. Whereas, for instance, BioWare is going to go, right, let's tweak Mass Effect for the Wii U. Now, anybody who's a Mass Effect fan has probably played it from 1 all the way to 3. And if you're obviously on the Sony, you've jumped in at 2, but you may have played 1 on the Microsoft. So the point is, the people that play Mass Effect are really hardcore Mass Effect fans. And no one's going to jump in at bloody number 3 on the Wii U. Now, I'll jump on it if I ever can justify buying the game again, just to play the controls. But aside from me, which is a small part of the market, no one's going to touch that game. Joe's not really going to go, right, I want to play Mass Effect 3 when she's not played the first two. Now, I could be wrong slightly, but this is how I feel. That BioWare's going to spend all this time, all this money recreating this game and like, off it goes on the Wii U. It's not going to sell very well because we've played it or people don't care for it. And then BioWare's going to go, ooh, well, that Wii U's a bit of a stinker, and they might not be inclined to actually create more content for it, and then that makes the developers push away from it, and the third-party titles start to drop, and I'm scared that could happen. So I just want Nintendo to just go, you know what, all them games that have already come out, kill them. We're not bothered about it. Every game that comes out now, we'll make it Wii U compatible, we'll put some wicked graphics on it, we'll put some really nice spin on the controller, and we'll ship it back out and people can decide which console they want to buy it on. And that's the tactic they need to go for. I don't want them seeing bringing out old games. And the other thing that drove me crazy this year was Mario. Now, I don't want to be Nintendo bashing as such because, like I said, they're releasing this console and it does look awesome, so there's lots of positives for the Nintendo franchise. And Mario is obviously a massive thing. There's Mario just up there as well. And yeah, Mario's a massive thing with Nintendo, but for me, bring some new characters out. I was sat there and I was like, we're bringing out Super Mario U, we're bringing out Gold Mario, and we're bringing out Paper Mario. I'm like, oh my god, the game is the same thing. Now, a lot of people will slate me for this. I'm probably going to see my sub counter drop or whatever it is, but it wound me up because I like to play Super Mario. I like to play, it's fun and it's quirky, but there is only so many things you can do on that game to make it different. When he brought it to 3DS, people was like, oh, it looks visually stunning and it is good fun, and it was good fun, but stop bloody making the Mario games and start making some other games because it's driving me nuts. I'm not buying any Mario games. Don't give a shit about them. Somebody's going to probably message me and they'll say it's absolutely awesome, they've tried it on the floor, they're really good games, and I'm not saying they're not good games, but 3 Mario titles that are coming out and you've got a new console coming out, bring us fresh new stuff. And that is kind of what I think everyone should do, and Sony feels like they've actually got that. They're bringing some fresh new stuff out. I just think Nintendo need to, and Microsoft bloody need to as well. So don't think I'm just bashing Nintendo. Everyone's getting a bit of the stick at the moment. So to sum it up really, Nintendo needs to concentrate exactly what kind of games they want to be bringing out. I don't think they want to bring out rehashed old games because they ain't going to sell as good as they think. I think Sony needs to just go, we apologise for not giving you any Vita content, here's some, and make themselves a little expo next week and justify people why they want to keep the Vita, because a lot of people have said on Facebook that they're going to be selling it. And Microsoft, you need to put some money into your games because, to be fair, I'm not bothered. I don't think you're going to lose many people. I don't think anyone's going to say, right, sell them a 360 because you haven't got no games. But we would have gone nuts if you could have released some games, and Smart Glass, we would have gone, you know what, you've done awesome there, we can't complain. So I think everybody had a mediocre year this year. And because I enjoy the moaning and I like a good old rant, Call of Duty looks fucking shit. Now again, a lot of people are going to moan at me. It feels like I'm a very negative man today, but I don't care. Now, I've been playing Ghost Recon and it's quite tactical. I like the idea of flying around with UAVs and that's awesome. Now, when Call of Duty was starting to be released, the Black Ops 2, they were saying, look, this works very similar to Ghost Recon, you can use UAVs and all that lot, and it made me go, thank you. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see from Call of Duty. I want something, again, fresh, tweaking, just make it feel like it's a new game. And what they shown originally in the first trailer made me go, I may buy this Call of Duty game, this is awesome. So at E3 they've shown a generic Call of Duty scene. Bang, 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 run for cover, bang, 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 and that was it. And then it says, that stupid little thing, to save time, we're going to cutscene to fucking same thing, bang, 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 bang. I was like, oh, we're going to see something really good. And I don't understand why they even had to cut from there to there. It just all looked crazy, crap, bang, bang, bang. And yeah, so I'm not going to say Call of Duty game is going to be crap, because if they're going to back up with what they actually said, it's going to have some sandbox elements, it's going to be a bit more open, it's going to be awesome, that's what I want to see. But it just makes me angry when you've got the E3 floor, and they do nothing with it. They just go, this is a generic first-person shooter like everyone else is releasing. Enjoy. And it's just a shame. So, yeah, it feels like I've completely slated E3. But that's how I feel. I feel like there's a lot more room for improvement. But to go on a positive note, there is some good stuff coming out there. So you got Microsoft Smart Glass, which is clever, it's going to be free, and it can turn all your existing devices into a remote so you can control and get extra game content. Awesome. Sony have got a great lineup of games that is coming up. Awesome. And Nintendo look like they've actually cracked and understand how to use the internet and allow us to socialise with each other and play games with each other. So that's awesome. So like I said, there was a lot of ranting back there, but there's also a lot of positive stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for the gaming. I wish I was a bit more excited from E3, but aside from that, I think it was decent. So, leave you with the question of the week, which simply is E3 related. When you sat back and watched E3, did anything that was shown made you go, oh, I'm having that? So I'm not talking about something that you knew you was going to buy, for instance, the Wii U, and then they're showing you Wii U videos and it made you go, I'm still buying it. I'm not bothered about that. I'm talking about something you didn't know about, or something you were like, I'm not going to buy that, and then they're showing you something you went, yes, I am now. So did they manage to persuade you on anything to buy something you didn't think you was willing to buy? And then the SD card was full and it started again. So, the thing that surprised me more than anything is Watch Dogs I knew nothing about, so that's the game I definitely want to get from E3 I knew nothing about. At the same time, Far Cry 3 looked a decent game, but I wasn't particularly bothered about getting it straight away, but after finding out it's got multiplayer, 4-player co-op, map editor like it did in the original Far Cry 2, it made me go, you know what, this game could be absolutely awesome to enjoy with my friends if we all get it at the same time. So, Far Cry 2 and Watch Dogs are the two things that was actual gems of E3 for me. So, that's it guys, thank you very much for watching. I do apologise if I said something that slightly offends you in any way and you go, no, I don't agree with that, because at the end of the day, remember, this is just my opinions. These are not hard facts, this is just how I believe. So, in the comments, by all means, tell me your opinions. Please don't tell me my opinions are wrong, because nothing winds me up when people go, no, you're wrong with that opinion, because it's just an opinion. But that's it guys, hope you have a great weekend. Chucking it down here, I've got 3 nights of night shifts. Nights of night shifts, yeah, 3 of them, which is awesome. But then I get to break up, do some gaming, and I've got a load of videos to do because I've completed that many games. I've just got a backlog of stuff I've got to do my reviews for. So that's it guys, have a great weekend, have some good gaming, and enjoy the rain. Cheers guys, bye.
Hi. This is fabulous. No, don't ever put that bit in.